Hello, Healthy Andrew fans. My name is Matthew Sherwood. You may be wondering, who is this guy? I am Andrew's video editor. For the videos that I film and the ones that I create the thumbnails for, that's my job. He pays me to do that. He's my boss. I edit videos for Andrew's channel. Of course, not the ones that he films himself in his car when he's driving, and I don't suggest that he does that anymore. It's very dangerous and he can hurt somebody. If he hurts himself, that's his choice. But if he hurts someone else, Andrew, you need to be more careful. But I edit the videos that I film for him, such as the Q&A video, the Conor McGregor video, the first Flat Earth rant. The ones that are highly edited and in high definition and have an ocular lens, those are my videos. But anyway, today I wanted to hop onto Andrew's channel and ask you guys a couple questions. And by you guys, I mean the Flat Earth people who constantly roam around Andrew's videos. And what bothers me is that you guys don't like to have actual conversations, right? You'd like to talk. I'd like to talk. Andrew would like to talk, even though he's a very confrontational person. He likes to talk at you, just like how you guys like to talk at him. And there's a whole psychological aspect there that he's trying to get into your mind, and it obviously works. But the thing is, it makes you guys not look as intelligent as you'd like to sound. And so as a person who's on the outside looking in, Andrew's very one way and you guys are very opposite of his view. Now, obviously, I don't believe that the earth is flat. I'm not going to say that I do or ever have, and I'm really not ever going to be convinced otherwise because there's just a lot of evidence to prove the contrary. But I'd like to ask a lot of questions. I'd like to learn. But I don't want to learn based upon Google, because Google isn't the end-all, say-all. Google isn't the smartest thing ever invented. While the internet has a lot of the world's knowledge at hand, it doesn't have everything. There's a lot that you can learn from conversation with people that the internet doesn't provide. And that's why I'm making this video here on Healthy Andrew, because I'd like to ask you flat earth believers, why do you believe what you believe? I moderate Andrew's comments. I read them. I don't interact with them, but I do have access to his YouTube channel. And so, I see all your comments, and a lot of you are very angry. You're angry all the time. And based upon the analytics of the channel, you guys don't even watch his videos. You click on, you dislike, and then you yell at him in the comments like that's supposed to make you sound smart, and then you go, and then you leave. And you're not open for a discussion. In fact, half of you can't really spell that good either. There's a lot of misuses of the word your and we'll, as in we'll do that tomorrow. You don't use proper punctuation. The way that you articulate your sentences is very childish. And I'm not saying that you as a person are childish, but it doesn't make you appear smart to act that way, especially when you're trying to defend something that you believe very, very strongly. If you would like to present yourself as a learned individual, someone who has knowledge and a high level of intellect, then I would believe that you'd like to portray yourself in a more sophisticated manner. What I did just now was I used a bunch of smart sounding words to make my sentences sound more articulate. Now these words, they don't mean that I am smart, but I'm trying to portray myself as smart. And that's something that I see in Nathan Thompson's videos, in Patricia Steer's videos, but they like to speak in a way that makes them sound smart. That's kind of a placebo effect. If you portray yourself in a manner where you display yourself as having more knowledge than you actually do, people will end up believing that you are smarter than how you actually are, which is a reason why a lot of you think that those YouTube videos that you see which prove flat earth are truth and have substance behind them, because the way that they're spoken is very fluent and they like to use adult reading level words. But a big thing about those videos is that when you have somebody who has an open platform such as a YouTube channel and they don't have anybody there to immediately moderate what they're saying, they tend to portray themselves as making a very precise argument because there isn't anyone there to immediately stop them, fact check them, and make sure what they're saying is actually legitimate. Some example is the video that explains that dinosaurs never existed by Eric Dubay. Now, that video, it sounds very smart, and to anybody who doesn't know any better, it comes off as very intelligent and very well researched. The fact that he says a bunch of names that are legitimate and he cites dates and times makes his position sound very legitimate with a legitimate foundation. But the fact of the matter is, his argument is not legitimate. Because if you ask any real paleontologist who actually works with the ground, who actually does take things from the ground that were alive, these fossils, to tell somebody who has actually physically found a fossil before that what they're doing is a complete myth and a lie, that person will get very offended. Just like how you believe flat Earth. Because I don't know if there's any legitimate professors, any legitimate science, any legitimate people who have actual foundational knowledge to portray the statistics and facts about flat Earth being an actuality. So if the Earth is legitimately flat, I have not seen any evidence. That's why I'd like to ask you a couple questions. First, if you could, in the comments below, give me your main reason why you believe that the Earth is flat. Not a bunch of them, not this and that and the other. One. The one that when you were a kid, the one that changed your position from when you were a kid and you were growing up and you were in school and you learned about the 9 planets and you learned about the stars and the sun and you were in 7th grade science and you did a bunch of experiments with chemicals and you did that little paper test on your tongue and you're like, ew, that's disgusting. Or you're like, oh, it just tastes like paper. Me personally, it just tasted like paper. Everyone else was literally, there was some kid in the classroom, he literally went over to the trash can, the big, the black trash can, pulled it up and vomited into it profusely because it was so disgusting. I was like, dude, this is just a piece of paper. It doesn't taste anything. But that's because that's science, right? So I want you to tell me in the comments below, one, the reason that changed your opinion from this is what I learned, this is what everybody learned, this is what science has told us, I learned this in school, all the way up until I want you to explain to me one reason, the reason, that changed you from believing what you were taught into what you legitimately think now. I know that a lot of you come from a religious background, trying to justify flat Earth through Christianity. And I think that's absolutely insane. I am myself a Christian. I believe very strongly in the Bible. No, not Mormon Christian. No, not Catholic Christian. Evangelical Christianity. I believe that Jesus Christ died for our sins. He's the Son of God, and the heavens and the earth were created by God. That's what I believe. And I now know that the base of flat Earth stems from Christianity. But I never understood how that could be connected. How can that be connected? Why don't you explain it to me? Why don't you, in the comments below, explain that to me? If someone's already explained it, why don't you go ahead and like their comment so that way it's easier for me to see and it's easier for Andrew to see because it goes to the top. What I'm trying to get at is that it's very difficult for me to understand how you believe what you believe. Because when you're taught something growing up and it's observable, I don't understand how you can go completely 180 and say that the entire world, all of the leaders, everybody who has a position of power, every single person is completely united in one effort to keep everybody in the dark about the entire Earth being not a globe, but a flat discus shape. It's very hard for me to understand how that would have to be a possibility. Kim Jong-un would have to be an ally of everybody else in order to keep the secret. In fact, Hitler and the Nazi Party were very evil. They caused atrocities over the eastern part of the world. But did he have to also keep the lie? How about people 100 years ago? 200 years ago? Everybody had to keep the lie that the Earth, and it's constant. So constantly people had to keep this lie going. But what I don't understand is there are people who train, who grow up as a child, who begin as a child and grow up with the dream to be an astronaut and to be somebody who works in space. And they go up in space and they see that there is a sun, there is an earth, it's spherical, and I need to understand how you can sit in your chair like I am and tell everybody who's ever existed that they have been lied to. One of my thoughts, one of my processes, one of the ways that I was thinking was that if you believe so steadfastly that everybody in the entire world is being lied to, correct? That's what you believe. Everybody in the world is being absolutely lied to. And NASA is a terroristic organization. Everybody who works there is shills. Everybody's perpetuating a lie. And you absolutely know that the earth is flat. You know for a fact. But the only way you can prove it is by making a YouTube video. Why don't you? Since we don't do moon missions anymore, we still go to space. There are technicians, people who do go out they go out and break the atmosphere and they go into space. Why don't you, as a disbeliever, someone who knows that they are 100% on a flat earth, why don't you go and apply, train, get your body healthy, go through all the rigorous testing of breaking the atmosphere and apply and become an astronaut? And you becoming an astronaut will give you an opportunity to go into space, right? To go into space and see for yourself. You could even go in skeptical. I'm training my body. I don't trust NASA. I'm training my body. I'm getting everything ready. My brain, I'm getting my heart, my blood flow. I'm going to brace myself for breaking the atmosphere, the pressure. And you train and you take an unedited, an uncut video on your cell phone with full battery, with a chargeable battery, or a DSLR, a high definition camera, something very, very high definition, and you train and you take the camera and you vlog yourself, you just record yourself from the point of you after you have your spacesuit on, you reveal yourself, you get onto the rocket, you go across the platform, you're recording yourself in an unedited, unclipped video. You get in the rocket, you launch, it's been like 30 minutes, the video's still recording, you're going, you're braking, and then when you're out there and you feel the pressure, you feel gravity leave you, you feel so much gravity leave you, and you're like, whoa, my body feels different now. And then you look out the porthole window and you see, and you put the camera up there and you see this, and you see a spherical globe. Would you still believe the earth is flat? Would you still believe? Because if you do still believe, then I don't know what to tell you. I guess an excuse could be I never left the ground. They knew I was a flat earther. They knew that I wanted to prove them wrong. So the rocket, it was just vibrated and it never launched off the ground. And there was digital. The porthole is actually a screen, and they forcibly showed me everything. It was a force. They showed me everything on a digital high definition screen with incredible quality, and we never actually left the ground. And what I see out the porthole window is fake. Is that what you would think? Because that sounds almost insane. But let's say that you did get your mind changed. You steadfastly believe that the earth is flat. Then you experienced going up into space, and you felt your body and the rocket break the atmosphere, and you felt gravity leave you, and your blood is actually moving in a different orientation, and the way that your heart is pumping is making all of your limbs feel very loose and you feel a tingle, and you're like, whoa, I'm no longer constricted to the Earth's gravitational pull to a T. You're still constricted to the Earth's gravitational pull when you're in space, but it depends on how close you are to the Earth, and then if you get further away, then you will not have the gravitational pull of the Earth. Maybe you'll be closer to Mars, or if you be in a certain direction. It's very hearsay, but you don't believe in that. So, but you feel the difference. You feel a very noticeable difference in your body, and you knew that you left Earth, and you saw out the porthole that the Earth is round, and you saw the sun, and you saw the moon, and you saw everything with your eyeballs, and then you would believe, and then you'd come back to Earth, and then people would call you a liar. Your community, the Flat Earth community, would call you, one of them, a NASA shill, a liar, somebody who got paid. And you're like, no, I didn't get paid. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you coming at me? Last week I was one of you. But look, guys, look, I was just there. I was just there. No. That's a fake video. You're paid by NASA. Do you see where I'm saying? The way that you dismiss arguments is to blame. All of the arguments that I see in Andrew's comments are blaming. They attack. Because a lot of the stuff that you guys say in the comments doesn't have substance. It's the modern leftist liberal way of winning by dismissing. Your argument is incorrect because you're racist. It doesn't matter what you say, you're racist. That's the same exact line of thinking. Have you even researched the video? No. You're so stupid, Andrew. All you do, it's just dismissing. You're stupid. You are this. You are that. So I asked, firstly, what exact reason did you become a flat earth believer? What was the exact literal thing, not who said it, not everything, what is the exact reason that you stopped believing in a globe and believe the earth is flat? Second, where do you consistently get your information from? Third, where do they get their information from? 4, if it actually stems from Christian belief and you having a sufficient knowledge of the Bible and the teachings of Jesus Christ and the creation of the world and the heavens and the earth, do you think what you think is legitimate, knowing that in the Bible it says there will be false teachings? If you base your belief of a flat earth on Christian values, Christian ideology, are you really going to believe somebody's false teachings? It's very easy to get sucked in to a lie, because that's the devil. The devil is very, very patient, and he'll get you by any way you possibly can be got. Any temptation. And if that means social acceptance in a community where you feel comfortable, then he got you. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this video very downtrodden and very depressing. I actually really want to open the door for conversation. Andrew likes to point and talk at you and disrespect you, and he likes to say all the time that there are flags on the moon, and most of the time you guys comment, there's no flags on the moon, you cannot possibly see the flags on the moon. And I'm looking at it right now with my eyes, and I'll post a link right in the description. And I think that you guys are under the misconception that you can literally see a waving flag waving. You can see a flag on the moon in very high definition. No. It's from a top-down perspective, and it looks like a speck, because we know the coordinates of where they landed on the moon. And so now we point our telescope at those coordinates, the observational telescopes, and we can see where that is. And when he says you can see flags on the moon with your eye, you won't be able to look into the sky and see it. No, you need a very high definition telescope, and not a telescope where you can look in like that. The telescope is going to be a massive observatory telescope that shows you its image on a screen, and that screen is what you're going to see. It's not a little Target Toys R Us telescope that's not going to show you what you want to see. But okay, I've rambled on long enough. My name is Matt Sherwood, and I just basically wanted to come on here and talk to you guys without being disrespectful and open the door for a legitimate conversation, because I'm very, very curious as to what legitimately made you stop believing in a globe and believe in a flat earth. But leave a comment on this video about the stuff that you want to see, and if you did enjoy this video, like it. That way we know that you liked it and that you want to see more content in this manner. But I do appreciate you guys watching the video. This has been Healthy Andrew. My name is Matt, and I'll see you in the next video.